I'm bigcal and welcome to my world. Today is a recent non-gaming pickups video where I show off some things that I bought that aren't video games, which does occasionally happen. So first things first is actually this t-shirt. I believe I've actually worn it in other videos, I just not got around to showing it off in a pickups video because I didn't have enough stuff for a non-gaming pickups video at the time. And this was actually a birthday present. So yay! A bit late, but got it. And also the guy got me a collectible coin thing, a Star Wars one, but I cannot for the life of me remember where I put it. I did have a pile of all my non-gaming stuff ready for the video. It was supposed to be on that pile. It was at one point on that pile. No idea where it went. Yeah, well, anyway, so let's move on. So we have some game related stuff that aren't video games, but firstly is the Money Ghost. Yes, so if anyone's a fan of the channel Re-Res, you'll probably know what this is. And it is the ghost of all the money you spent on terrible games. Yeah, it shows up quite often in the Re-Res channel videos because they often look at and review terrible games. Yeah, so I basically got this from subscribing to their Patreon, so that was cool. Got it through the post about a week ago, and yeah, it is awesome. Very nice quality, nice and soft and cuddly. Oh. But a terrible reminder of the money that I have wasted on terrible games in my time, such as let's see, what's over here? Ah, yes. Of course, I know Sonic 2. I'm kidding! I did not waste any money on this game, don't worry. I didn't pay a penny for it, it was given to me. The person who gave it to me wasted their money. Because it's fucking terrible. Sonic games suck except for All Stars Racing Transformed. Yeah, so there is the Money Ghost, and he's awesome. And I'm not going to attempt to do the voice because I'll just butcher it. But there he is. There you go. Sit next to Mario for a bit. Yeah, lovely. Right, some Blu-rays and DVDs now. And we have one of the newer Marvel releases from earlier this year, Black Widow. Yep, took quite a few years for this to come out because it kept getting delayed in production and then delayed for release due to the whole pandemic. Finally released in June or July this year on streaming services, so I watched it there and then picked it up on Blu-ray. It's a solid film, certainly not one of the best MCU films, but by far, you know, not even close to one of the worst. It's just a decent film, and yeah, not sure when, if ever, we'll see Black Widow again, because, spoiler, she's already dead. This takes place before she dies, obviously. Fun flick, and yeah, just to add to my MCU collection, which is here. I have all of them so far, except for Shang-Chi, which just recently released on Blu-ray, and the Eternals that's just recently out at the cinema. That looks boring as hell. Yeah. And then we have a Star Wars Blu-ray, and it's Solo, a Star Wars story. I actually really enjoy this, and a lot of people don't care for it, but what do they know? A lot of people like some of the prequel films, like Episode 7, where they literally just redo the original Star Wars film, except it is nowhere near as good at any point in time. It is crap. Yeah, Solo, did we really need the backstory on Han Solo and how we got the name? No we didn't. Is it a good film? Yes, I believe it is. Especially because I like a lot of the other parts of the Star Wars universe other than just the Jedi and the Sith. While I do love those parts as well, you've got all the different crime syndicates, and of course they pop up in here. And then we get the big thing at the end with Darth Maul, which is awesome. Hopefully they'll follow up on that at some point. We don't need a sequel to Solo, but we do need a follow-up to that story. So hopefully we will get something with that, because we need to see more of Darth Maul, who everyone loved him from, you know, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and He was fine in that. I mean, the fight scene at the end's really fun, but yeah, he just shows up, doesn't really do anything, has a fight scene at the end, gets sliced in half as far as everyone knew he was dead. It was only then in the cartoon series, Clone Wars, that he was actually brought back and made into a really, really good and really interesting character. So hopefully we'll get to see more of him in live action form as the good version of the character and not the pointless one from the Star Wars Episode 1 film. And more Star Wars, including some stuff, I think Maul is actually in this as well, and that is Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels. Excellent, excellent TV show. There were 4 or 5 seasons of this. Of course, this is mainly known for bringing in Thrawn, finally, into some sort of canon. We got the book series, and we have him in here, and hopefully he's going to show up in the Ahsoka TV show in 2023, because they obviously have teased that in Mandalorian. Yeah. So, but yeah, Maul shows up in this as well. We got Vader as well at some point, and it's just a really, really great show. Highly recommend the Star Wars Clone Wars and Rebel shows. Got this in a nice sale a few months ago. It was really, really cheap. It's the Dragon Ball Z movie collection, 1 to 13, plus TV specials on Blu-ray. Yeah, I do like the movies. Yeah, they're not canon, and yeah, they all kind of, most of them sort of end in the same way with Goku and a Spirit Bomb, but they're still really, really fun. So yeah, you got the Dead Zone, World's Strongest, Tree of Might, Lord Slug, Cooler's Revenge, The Return of Cooler, Super Android 13, Broly, the Legendary Super Saiyan, Bojack Unbound, Broly Second Coming, Bio Broly, Fusion Reborn, Wrath of the Dragon, Bardock, the Father of Goku, and The History of Trunks. Yeah, really, really good collection. And then, of course, I own, probably behind there or there somewhere, I do own the latest ones, you know, the Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, and the new Broly film, which sort of reboots from these and turns Broly into a decent character, because it's kind of shit in these films. But yeah, so I have gone through and watched them all. It's really fun. You also get the option of Japanese or English music. I know a lot of people swear by the Japanese soundtrack, at least for the TV show. For the movies, I don't know if that's the thing, because I had it on and there was just barely anything there. I know it's supposed to be more atmospheric and stuff and in the background, but half the time it was just, there might as well not been any music there. Didn't hear it, didn't notice it, didn't pay attention, you know, it was just pointless. So always have the English version on, because a lot of them feature like weird rock music. Very interesting choices for a lot of them, but yeah, most of the films are really, really fun. So very glad to own them on Blu-ray. And DVDs now, we have David Jason series, and it is Diamond Geezer. I'm willing to bet a lot of people out there have no clue what the bloody hell this is, especially outside of the UK, but even in the UK, because it didn't really make a big splash. So you have to think back to sort of the time when this was made in the, was it mid-2000s? Yeah, 2005 it originally started. And basically it was sort of a resurgence of, you know, like con artist type things. We had the Ocean's 11 remake, and then its sequels were coming out. In America you had the awesome show Leverage, which was again like a team of thieves all teaming up and going up against the bad guys. Then in the UK, what was it called? The BBC had one, and it was kind of like, literally just sort of like the English version of Leverage. It was okay, but not as good, in my opinion. You know, it wasn't as good. Yeah, whatever. And then ITV had Diamond Geezer with, what was his name? Derek? Des. Yeah, there we go. Des. Obviously played by the incredible David Jason. There was a pilot episode first. It was kind of like a TV film which set in a prison, and really, really good, really interesting. And then there was, then the series started, and there was a sequel, direct sequel sort of to the prison episode that follows up on stuff that happens from that. And then you get 2 more episodes that are just kind of out there a little bit. Now it's you know, the first 2 are much more grounded, obviously not realistic because it's not realistic, but it's more grounded in reality. And then the next two get a little bit crazy, and they're not as good as the first two episodes, but yeah, I do enjoy the series. I'm glad to own it, because I remember looking it up a few years ago, and it was bloody expensive to try and get hold of. Looked it up recently, and it was dirt cheap, so I got the collection that includes the pilot, because there were sort of two versions of one that just has the pilot on its own, the one set in the prison, and then another one with the series. This one has everything included and was dirt cheap. And lastly, for DVDs, we have Season 1 of The Wire, which I paid nothing for. My friend gave it to me because, he just does everything with streaming services now, so he was just looking to get rid of it. And I've been meaning to watch it for years and years and years now. So yeah, finally got around to getting it off him, and yeah, I shall get started watching this at some point. Because TV shows, there's very few sort of like new shows that are on weekly that I watch now. There's like 3 maybe, so it's always nice to have a backlog of TV show that I can just go and binge. Right, lastly then for this video, we have books. Yes, got really back into reading again lately, especially thanks to this one. Posted this on my Instagram, and that is the new Throne book, the Throne Ascendancy trilogy. Lesser Evil. This is the 3rd book in the Ascendancy Throne trilogy. Obviously there was the original ones, and then there's a new canon series, and we've had one trilogy, now this one's the 2nd one. And this one takes place before he comes to what they call Lesser Space, which we know as just the normal, the Republic and the Empire sort of area. Fantastic. The first book in this trilogy was really good. The 2nd book I was a little bit disappointed with. It kind of ended a bit boring-ish. Wasn't too thrilled with it. It was still really good, but didn't meet my expectations of Throne. This one blew me away. Fantastic. And I also love how they did some like flashback bits as well in the book, and they brought a lot of the old Legends Throne stuff into the canon, so yeah, it's really good. A lot of the Throne stuff that's in canon actually happens in here, with the exception of what happens after the Emperor dies. Because what should have been the prequel trilogy was Throne. That was the original trilogy with him as a Grand Admiral, basically leading the Empire after the Emperor dies. Of course, that's never going to happen now because they ruined that. But yeah, we still get a lot of awesome Throne stuff. Fantastic. Throne is the single greatest Star Wars character ever, in my opinion. He has finally ascended past the Emperor. I love Palpatine. Throne's better. New book, fantastic. Pre-ordered it months ago on Amazon, got it on release. Fantastic stuff. And now for some gaming books. So this one came out last year, I think, maybe even longer, because my friend Adam, he works for Pen and Sword. I think it's Pen and Sword book publishing. Book publishing. I know that sounded like butt publishing. Tell you what, I think what kind of job that would be. Book publishing, and yeah. So if there's any particular books that I see I'm interested in, I can just ask him to get it for me. Yeah. So he got me this the Chris Scullion book, the Super Nintendo Encyclopedia. I already owned the NES Encyclopedia, and that was fantastic. Goes through all the PAL NES games, a bunch of the American ones, and some Japanese ones as well. So it's great for people like me. And it increased my NES want list from like 20 games to almost 90. Insane. So I'm hoping it'll do the same for Super Nintendo. Like I said, this came out like at least a year ago, and my friend, as you can see, it's got the American cover. Just because they got the company or Pen Sword or whatever got some like promo copies or whatever, for free. So my friend gave me this one, and it's just like, yeah, it's just the same book except it's got the American cover, but it's free. So what do I care? Yeah, so it's really great. It goes through all of the Super Nintendo games, talks about them, gives the release, where they were release year, who published them, who developed them, what country they were released in, and then a nice little fact about each game as well. Some games get massive full page, some just get a little square. And yeah, really good. You know, go through and see games that you might have forgot existed, games that you never knew existed, games that you own. It's just like, oh, I didn't know that little fact about them. Yeah, so really, really cool. Very, very excited to finally. I'm going to go through this. I've had it for a couple of months now, but I haven't gone through it yet. I'm going to go through it this week because I'll be going to the gaming market in Doncaster on the 5th of December. So I'm going to go through this and see if there's anything to add to my want list. See if I can get there. And there is also now a Mega Drive edition, similar to this, from the same author, Chris Scullion. So check that one out. I've asked my friend already to pick me up a copy, so hopefully I'll get that off him probably end of December when we all meet up for Secret Santa. So that'll be interesting. And very, very lastly now, a gaming book. I've had this for, again, a few months, posted it on my social media, but just haven't had a chance to put it in a video. A lot of people have been posting it on social media recently because they've just got their edition. It was obviously the second print. I pre-ordered mine and got it with the first print run. And it is a beast of a book. Oh, a guide to Japanese role-playing games. Oh, look at the size of this bugger. Hardback, absolutely huge, amazing, and heavy as all hell. Yeah, it's got. See how many pages? How many pages are you? Yeah, it's got almost 700 pages. It goes through the history of JRPGs, what a JRPG is, things like that, you know, and then goes through a number of the big series, such as Dragon Quest there. Fantastic, goes through a bunch of those games. You got the Legend of Heroes, Trails series that I'm a big fan of, obviously. Final Fantasy's in here, Persona series. Yeah, Tales of series, Star Ocean, Xenoblade Chronicles, Lufia, yeah, Grandier. So it goes through, does give a little bit of history on computer JRPGs, which came out obviously before console ones, because everyone knows that, you know, Dragon Quest, the first JRPG. Not accurate, is the first console JRPG. There were ones on computer before it. They go through a couple of the more notable ones. The Black Onyx is often sort of hailed as one of the originals. Obviously it is. It goes through that there. And then it talks the other transition into console-based ones. And yeah, details all of these sort of really big ones, big franchises. And a couple of little unknown ones. Oh, and it is absolutely fantastic. Well worth every penny, and again, you know, big thick heavy book like this, hardback. If you are going to order for it, don't worry about it coming damaged or anything in the post. They really pack this incredibly well, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, fantastic. And they do obviously tons of other different books. They do those visual guides that I'm not really a big fan of. I do believe they have a guide to computer RPGs as well, while this is more based on console ones, with obviously a bit of the computer ones at the start. And yeah, they just do tons of other books, so check them out. That is it Bitmap Books? Yeah, so look up those. Fantastic stuff. Oh. Seriously, weighs a bloody ton. It's very difficult. No, I like to read in bed. I have to sit up in a chair when I look through that one because, yeah, it's just so heavy. I need to, you know, it's more comfortable in the chair than in bed. Whew. Anyway, I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of my non-gaming pickups. Let me know if there's anything random out there I should pick up that's sort of related to anything I've got here. And I'll see you again next time.